Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today in California on the Where's Shmee US Edition tour with a fairly familiar C8 Corvette. Today I'm visiting EMELIA Hartford. We're going to take a look at this car, which is the fastest C8 on the quarter mile in the world, as well as the new workshop which is currently being set up. So let's catch up with EMELIA, take a look at the car and maybe head out for a short little ride as well. Hey EMELIA, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Welcome to my humble abode of my shop.
Thank you, good to see you. Good to see this. Congratulations on your recent run with this car.
Thank you so much. Man, it's so cool to see these two cars together.
Oh yeah, I think every time I've seen a GT500 and a C8, they're kind of the two, for me at least, ultimate American cars right now.
I would agree with that. 100% I would agree with that. I love the green of this too.
Thank you very much. Well, this is looking pretty good. Obviously, you were one of the first customers of a C8.
I was very fortunate to get one of the first allocations. I went to Kentucky, picked it up, drove cross country with it, and here we are.
And now it's running roughly how much power?
Ooh, we did 1,022 to the wheels, which is the highest horsepower C8 Corvette in the world. It still sounds weird to say.
That's mad, that's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is your new workshop.
Yes, it is. It's a little loud, people are doing hammering. If you want to see real
Let's
quick.
have a quick look. Yeah, you're just getting everything set up, getting the BendPak lifts installed.
Yeah.
The new home of your channel, really?
Yeah, no, this is it. This is home. So we'll have 2 bays to go work on cars. And I also see additional parking when I see that too.
yeah, that looks like one car up, one car underneath.
Yeah, pretty much.
Make efficient use of the space. That's the set of wheels that we're running for the drag, right?
Yes, these are them. They're beadlock forged ones with the Mickey Thompson wheels. Yeah, I love these setups. And then I had skinnies. Those are 18 by 5. I was running those on Phoenix. I've named her because she caught on fire and she rose from the ashes. It's a long story. But yeah, we're running those. I just put my track wheels back on because if we decide to go in the canyons or something, it just handles a little smoother.
Yeah. So, I mean, we should talk a little bit more about the car. Shall we pull it outside?
Yeah, let's pull outside. We'll shut the door so the guys can work and we'll check.
Yeah, so we'll get a nice little start up from this thing.
A little cold start for the boys?
Yeah, gotta do it, gotta do it. Let me come take a listen. Ready when you are. The sound of the turbo there. The whistle. And look how you can see it all. That's really quite cool. That's really very, very cool. Nice. I love how it's all open back here.
Yeah.
Turbos, filters.
I'll eventually put the bumper back on.
Yeah.
We took it off so it's easier to work on trackside, but
yeah.
I love it so much.
So wait, what's going on here?
Those are the dump pipes for the wastegates.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. We thought about recirculating back into the exhaust, but I like when they spit flames.
yeah, I can believe that. So we got to have a quick run over the numbers that you did with this, or should we close the shutter first so the guys can crack on in peace with it? The quarter mile time then?
So the quarter mile time was a 9.41 at 144 miles per hour.
9.41
yes.
In the C8. That's really very... What do they run completely stock?
I think I did in 11.3. It was over a year ago.
Yeah, so that's significantly quicker. I enjoyed watching the progression through that day as the time started getting faster and faster.
Thank you. And the crazy thing is, like, we're not able to tune the car whatsoever.
Yes.
So
yeah. I mean,
it's not going to be as quick as what this would be if someone were to mod the GT500. But you know, we're making it work with what we have.
Because that's one of the crazy things. Because with the C8, they've completely locked it down, haven't they? You cannot get into this car to
not at all
to do anything. It's completely shut down for a whole host of different reasons. So, quick overview, what have you done to it?
So, built motor, twin turbos, upgraded clutches, auxiliary fuel system, suspension, wheels, tires, the whole 9 yards.
And the turbo whistle, by the way, when it's just idling.
I love that.
It sounds awesome. It sounds Koenigsegg-esque.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would make sense, right? Because they're a V8 engine twin turbo setup.
Yeah. But
oh wow, that's completely different.
Yeah. So it's Texas Speed built LT2. We got twin turbos. You can see we swapped out the intake manifold because we're running port injection as well. That's the auxiliary fuel tank made by D-Shworks, and then we're triggering that and controlling boost by a Holley Dominator that we have.
Okay. I mean, this is serious project. This is not just a small
And honestly, even when we will be able to tune the car, these are things that we would have done anyways.
Yeah.
So we're just putting ourselves in the best position possible for when we can correct the ECO.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we have to hop out and go for a little ride and see what it's all about.
I'm down to do it.
All right, let's climb on board. Fire extinguisher down in the footwell.
Oh, yeah.
Cables and computers and
Hang
all
on.
sorts of things. Let me climb somehow over all of this. Carefully does it.
We were doing some tweaking and tuning, so we got all the wires everywhere, but...
All the equipment and making sure it's set up. Because I guess it hasn't had much driving since it did that very fast run.
Yeah, I mean, we did that run, then we went straight to the airstrip, did more runs, and
Okay.
well, not so cold.
That still sounds ridiculous, even
Sounds
though it's
really good.
warm start. So what's this giving you? Extra engine info and data?
Yeah, so this is for the auxiliary fuel system. This is running off the Holley Dominator, so Holley provides a display so I can see, you know, how much boost we're doing, what RPM I'm at, what the AFRs are, and just kind of, it's basically like a digital gauge.
Yeah, that's cool. More info than the car normally tells you, which is already quite a lot in this thing.
Yeah, no, you get a lot of info.
Straight into track mode.
I don't drive any other way. I had to do it.
Yeah, why not? Inside, I do actually like the red touches inside here.
Yeah, right? It's not over the top either. They complemented it well with the black. Actually, I was speaking to the designer at GM who did all of the interior, and the color swatches are from a Nike SB shoe.
Really?
Yeah, if you notice it, I want
That's
to buy
funny.
a pair of Nikes just so it matches, but it's the same color scheme.
Great view back through there, through the glass. The targa panel you can remove.
Yeah, I've removed it like once though, because I'm a girl and I have hair and it goes everywhere.
But over 1,000 horsepower without a roof is always an exhilarating experience if you do it.
Oh yes.
Sounds angry.
It is a little pissed off right now.
And makes quite the snap as well when you're shifting up through the gears.
Yeah, we had to adjust the tune right before this, and there's a couple more things that need to be adjusted, so
Okay.
she'll just make cool noises for now.
Still, tunnels are always good. Yeah. Always with a giddy smile when it's something like that, eh?
You can't help but smile.
I mean, it's even more special, right, when it's a car that you've built up and gone through the blood, sweat and tears to make it into...
It's unique, you know, it's mine. No one else has this.
Yeah. You feel that?
And
okay.
this is on the street tune, so this is only 700 horsepower.
Only 700
Yeah, so
wheel
technically it's
horsepower.
still 700 wheel, yeah.
Okay.
Yours is to the crank, but...
Yeah, 760 crank. We measured 700 on the dyno to the wheel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about the same.
Yeah.
This just feels sketchier, I'm sure.
With the turbos, it's the turbo feel, but also being lower slung, right? And it's got more of an instant pick up and go. It just gives you that shove and kick in the back and whole takeoff type feeling.
Yeah, so this was the same tune that we did the 9.41 pass in, because we weren't able to do the 1,000 horsepower and
Oh,
still
really?
be able to shift. Because you
Ah.
can't tune anything, so...
Okay, so the car, so you had to put it into a lower state of tune than what you've been able to get out of it.
Yeah, because on the dyno we didn't have to shift.
Interesting, yeah, of course. As you do with something, shaking the ground, setting off the car alarms. All sorts of madness. That turbo feeling, the torque is just...
Yeah, you can really feel when it picks up.
Oh yeah, when it gets and when it hooks up, that's like, whoa. Even a short tunnel's good when it's like this. Wow. Wow. It's such an insane kick and shove in the back. This thing is just,
And it sounds so good too.
it's mental. Do you have like an ability to put it into a kind of quiet,
No.
closed? No, it's
No, I
just
don't.
loud or loud.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
The only thing at this point that the track and the street and changing the modes does is
Yeah.
the steering input. Because I don't even
okay.
have mag ride, and I like the heavier steering feel.
Yeah. So you go straight into track. You get, I mean, you still get the different dashboard displays, don't you?
Yeah, I got the different dash display.
The track display.
I actually like the sport display the best. You've seen it, you know, you've driven a C8
Just to
before.
have the large rev counter in the center.
But not only that, but like the way it displays G-force, oil temp, and everything, I feel like, and I can see the mileage and everything. There's just more information versus track is strictly track. I can't see the mileage on it. I get temps and I get some easy data to read, but I don't know.
But you get tire pressure. You get the things you need when you're on track, right? The stuff that's more important. Although maintenance engine life is kind of an interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at this revs for 10,000. God, I probably should be sharing this data.
This was your first Corvette, right?
Yeah, this is my first Corvette. I have experience, this is my first LT, which is the engine. I have a lot of experience with LS's, 5.7 liter V8, so it wasn't anything crazy new to me. I actually have my very first drift car is an LS swapped 240SX, and that LS came out of Corvette. So I have experience with the Corvette motors, but this is my first actual Corvette. It's quite the Corvette to get for a first one.
Yeah. Because I remember when it came out and we all had the launch event in Vegas. You went out for it, I think, a day or two before I did.
Well, we first met at the McLaren event.
I remember first briefly met in Arizona.
Yeah.
With the Spiders, the 600 LT Spider and the 720 Spider.
Well, it was because of that event that I got an early allocation on my car. It's because I met them, I told them I ordered one. They're like, oh, you know, we'd be more than happy to try to help you. Yeah,
so that helped you get this car for a quick delivery.
Yeah.
And basically you used it as they would have loved you to have used it, gone out and driven it, and maybe not quite so much tuning, but
yeah, I don't know if they care so much about that as much as just overall admiring the car as much as I do.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you collected it, drove it across the country, done a ton of miles in it, a ton of track events.
Wait, how many miles do I have on it? Let me see, and I gotta go back to the sport.
It was 9,000, I think.
9,094. Wow.
Do you know what's really scary is I've done nearly that much in the Mustang in a month.
In a month? Oh man.
Which is also crazy before it's going to be trucked back later on. Performance timer. This is a slow 0 to 60, this one. 8 seconds to 20 miles an hour.
There we go, let's go.
Flat out, absolutely flat out. I was going to ask then for a very brief recap of why it's called Phoenix.
Oh, so I couldn't think of a name for the C8, and sure enough, when I was at the racetrack, I've done so many test days, I digress. When I was at the racetrack, one of the oil lines actually chafed on the bumper in a weird spot and it burst open. The oil atomized and caught fire, so...
Not what anybody wants, but Phoenix is risen, it's alive.
She rose from the ashes. Yeah, we got the whole thing on camera, and one of the guys from Hoonigan, actually, Dan, he saved my car because I had a fire extinguisher, but the fire was so large it wasn't enough to put it out. He ran over in his Miata, pulled over, grabbed one of the track extinguishers and ran over and met me where the car was on fire and helped put it out, so.
Well, you did a great video covering it, considering the stress of the situation.
Oh yeah.
Like being able to watch it and see what happened.
It's almost crazy because like looking back at the footage, I was way too calm for the fact that my car just caught on fire.
Oh well, it happens. Well, that's so mad I actually dropped my phone. I couldn't hold on to it.
But my favorite is the launch control, the way that sounds.
Yeah. The way it snaps. But this does like the GT500 where when you pull both paddles it lets you rev it.
Yeah, it does a neutral.
Just like the Porsche PDK. That's cool, and yes, as you said.
And that's how you also clutch dump.
Yeah, and light up the rear tyres.
Yeah.
And we're back with the Green Menace as well. Well, that was an awesome ride. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Super cool.
Made it out.
This car's so much prettier than yours, shiny wise.
I love the color of this.
We just pulled the two cars inside for a quick photo. Now that the BendPak lifts have been installed, Emelia heading out. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. And then I'm going to need to follow on out with the GT500 on towards the next stop, because we're actually taking that car to collect something I left here in LA about a year and a half ago. So that's what we're going to go and do next. Where we're heading then is to Galpin Ford, because when my Ford GT was out here back in 2019, I took it to Galpin to do the change of the exhaust. We installed the US spec Akrapovic titanium sports exhaust, and we actually left my my original OEM European exhaust at Galpin. Well, they've been looking after it for me. The plan was, of course, to come and pick it up a long time ago, but obviously the world had other ideas, but they've been holding on to it. And today we're actually going to pop it into the trunk of this car when it gets loaded to be taken back to Miami. So I'm going to be keeping the exhaust and eventually taking it home. There might be something with it before, but for now, at least we'll collect it from the west coast and get it a couple of thousand miles closer to home over towards the east coast. We are back here then, Galpin Ford on the left. Over to the right side is Gas, where they do a lot of the modifications and have the museum. We are looking for the truck that is going to be somewhere around, but we'll take this car to the service side on the back to try and pick up the exhaust. I see something else in grab a line just tucked in there. But yeah, it's crazy to be back here finally to come pick this up. Now on this car, by the way, if you can see here on the dashboard, we have gone over 7,000 miles. We now have 7,020 miles. It had 300 miles when we left Florida not very long ago. That's the quickest I've ever done mileage in a car, and I do wonder how many miles I'll do with this going forwards into the future. For now though, let's head on in and go get things here sorted out. Mission success! The original GT exhaust and the original tips, which are going to be safely transported. We're going to package them all in. We tried to get this inside the box, but unfortunately that was a bit of a no-go. And obviously, as you can see, these are very sharp. The heat shield on here is very, very sharp, so we need to be super careful with this, and the truck is waiting as well. So we'll get this fully loaded, some of our stuff back in that's going back to Florida as well, and work all of this out. We've got everything loaded up then, so back to get this car into the transporter just around the corner. It's a bit of a squeeze at the moment. We're taking some of this luggage out of here, but we've also got a big cardboard box for the exhaust. Massive dip to come off the road here. We're just up the road. We have the AutoBox Express transporter, who have very kindly come to take this car back over to the other coast. So I need to swing it round because we're going to go in backwards. But this is the transporter from AutoBox who are going to help us out. All right, time to get everything out before we get this loaded up to go the next 2,500 miles or so from here back to the other side of the country, which is kind of crazy. It's been quite the adventure. It feels kind of strange that this is in some ways the end of the tour. There are some more things still to come, because of course the transport across the country takes about a week or so, maybe a little bit longer, we'll see. So this is going before we go, so that it arrives shortly after we arrive at the other end, obviously having flown. Driving back again right now when you're this level of exhausted would not have been feasible, so alas, in the trailer it will go. Up it goes then, getting ready to be loaded. Always a strange thing. The end of a massive adventure. At least it's in fairly clean shape. This is where you get to see the underside of the front and you get very anxious about quite how many scratches. Actually, that's not too bad. It could be significantly worse, that's for sure, at the front end. But yeah, up, ready to go in. And there it goes. Into the transporter to be seen again very shortly. The car is being loaded up for the long slog, which means I've come up on the tailgate to go and try and help guide it in towards the back. So let me squeeze on through here very quickly to come and just make sure that it is perfectly positioned and exactly how this is going to work. I guess that is going to be it for now then. The car is safely to be transported. It will actually get covered up, strapped down properly. With that, I'm looking forward now to seeing it back at the other end. Well, there we have it. Time to head off, but great to visit EMELIA to check out the 1,000 plus horsepower Corvette C8, to go for a little experience of that and to see the shop as well and catch up. But a great day here in California. The end, in some ways, of the Where's Shmee US Edition tour with the GT500, but mark my words, there are some pretty cool things still to come. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, do check out EMELIA's pages if you haven't already. The links are all down below, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!